Hi, good morning, students. So, in the last class, we discussed about heat produced in the circuits. So, in the different problems we solved in the last class. So, for all these heat generated problems, the only procedure is like writing the conservation of energy only, right? So, just by writing the conservation of energy, you can solve any problem related to that heat produced in the circuits. And now in today class, let us discuss about the charge flowing through the switches. That means they will give some switches in the circuit, some circuits, and just after closing the circuit, how much charge is flowing through the switch they will ask. And in that switch problems also again like heat energy calculations sometimes they will ask. So those calculations are same as that of what we discussed in the last class. That means just we need to apply that conservation of energy formula. That just by applying conservation of energy formula, you can calculate heat generated in any problem, any circuit you can calculate there, right? And so now let us see one such an example based on this charge flowing through the switches here. So I am taking a problem like this. So for all these problems, just you need to calculate charge on the capacitor before closing the switch and after closing the switch. So just with the help of those two calculations before closing the switch and after closing the switch, you can calculate the charge flowing through the circuits easily. So here I am taking this is a circuit here and a cell of let us take some numericals also so that we can calculate that easily. And so we can write this as suppose I am taking this as some 6 microfarad this capacitor, and this capacitor is 3 microfarad, and then let us take this as 3 microfarad and this is 6 microfarad, right? So those are the capacitors there, and so now here I am taking this as some 36 volts I am taking here. So write that question. Find in the circuit, first write in the circuit shown in figure, the switch S is initially opened. If it is closed, then find charge flowing through the switch. So as I said, for all these switch related problems, we need to calculate the charge on the each plate of the capacitor before closing the switch and after closing the switch. So let us calculate that before closing the switch here. So before closing the switch, you can write this effective capacitance and you can write the charges on this each capacitor here. So that means now before, if the switch is opened, then these two plates are in, that means these two capacitors are in series, right? And so then effective capacitance is nothing but 6 into 3 by 6 plus 3. So we'll get 2 microfarad. And now similarly, these two capacitors are in series. And so now that combination will be in parallel, and actually across that each combination you can take the potential difference as 36 volts. That means across this potential difference is 36, and across this combination also you can take that potential difference as 36 volts, right? And so that now here you can calculate that. That means here the potential difference is that means effective capacitance is 2, and here also effective capacitance is 2. Then I am writing the charge Q is equal to CV. That means the initial charge I am writing here. So that C effective into for each row. So this is for each row, 2 effective is 2. So 2 into 36. So then it is 72 microcoulomb, right? That is the charge on that each capacitor. And so as this is the positive polarity we are taking here, then I can consider this as a plus 72 and this is minus 72 microcoulombs only. And here also then it is plus 72 minus 72, right? Because this is positively charged and this is a negatively charged plate here. And next similarly for this you can write here. So this is plus 72 and minus 72, and this is again plus 72 minus 72, right? Those are the charges on this each plate of this capacitor here. Now we consider this isolated combination of this isolated plates here. That means either these two plates you may consider or these two plates you may consider. That is your choice here. So now I am taking this these two plates here. So I am taking this isolated plates. These two plates together I am taking here. So now net charge on those two plates initially and finally we need to write here. So initial charge on those two plates is plus 7 minus 72 and plus 72, that will be 0, right? So that means initial charge on these two plates will be equal to 0. And next let us consider that once that switch is closed. So that when the switch is closed, so when switch is closed, now let us consider the circuit here. When the switch is closed, we can consider the circuit as so the circuit can be represented like this. So this is the switch what we are closing here. Now again this is the potential difference what we are applying, 36 volts, right? So now this is our circuit here. This is again 6 microfarad, 3 microfarad, and this is 3 microfarad, and this is 6 microfarad. So these are the capacitors. And now let us see, once that switch is closed, then what will be the charges on the each plates or each capacitor. First let us calculate here, and after that we consider that isolated system there, right? And so now if you once the switch is closed here, now we can observe that these two capacitors are in parallel. Now you can't say that these two are in series, you can't say directly. These two plates are in parallel, these two capacitors are in parallel, and similarly these two capacitors are in parallel, right? And so now these two are in parallel means you can say here 6 plus 3 9 microfarad, and here this is also 6 plus 3 9 microfarad you will get. And as this capacitor, that means these two are 9 and 9 both will be in series with this, and so then this potential difference will divide equally, right? So that means the potential difference across this each combination we can write this as 9 volts and 9 volts we can write here. So that means 18. So this is 18 volts potential difference across this, and here also 18 volts you will get here. Is it clear how we are taking 18 and 18? These two are in parallel, so you will get 9 microfarad here, and this is another 9 microfarad you will get here. These two capacitors are in series. Both are identical capacitors, 9 microfarad and 9 microfarad. And so this applied potential will divide equally. So the potential difference will divide equally across those two capacitors there. And so now again let us calculate this charge on this each capacitor here. So then charge on this each capacitor let us calculate here. So once this potential difference is known to us, then we can write the charge on this each capacitor here. And so this is 6 into, that means Q is equal to CV formula. So then it is this is 18 into 6. So 18 into 6 is 108, right? So this is 108 microfarad. This is minus 108. And next similarly here this below, this capacitor will be 18 into 3. So which is 54. So it is plus 54 minus 54. And next similarly let us calculate the charge on this capacitor here. And so then here this capacitor charge on this capacitor will be, I can write this as 18 into 3. Here potential difference is 18 and the capacitance is 3. And so then it is 54, and this will be plus 54, and this is minus 54 microfarad, microcoulombs. And similarly here 16 to 18. So then you can consider this as 108. So this is plus 108 and minus 108. So now those are the charges. Now again let us consider the consider these capacitors which we are taking initially, that means isolated plates let us consider here. So these two are the isolated plates what we are considering here, right? So these two are the isolated plates what we considered there. And again let us write the charge on those two isolated plates there. So now let us write the charge on those two isolated plates here. I am taking again initially those two plates I am taking here, and now here also I am taking those two plates only, those two isolated plates only, right? And so now let us write the initial charge and final charge here. So that means now I am writing that and here generally the charge flowing through the switches means only we need to write this magnitude of the charge here. So sometimes they will ask along particular direction. When they are asking about the direction, you need to write this sign also. But once they are asking just charge flowing through the switch, it is sufficient to write the magnitude of the charge here. That means now here the initial charge on two isolated plates. On two isolated plates is equal to, that means I am taking that as Q initial, so which is nothing but minus 72 plus 72, so which is 0. So initially there is no charge on those two plates there. So then final charge is, so the final charge we can write this as Q final is equal to, so it is 54 minus 108, right? So this is 54 and this is 108 here, and so that this is nothing but 54 minus 54 microcoulombs. So it is the charge, final charge on that. Now observe the circuit carefully, that means those two plates. Now if you are taking those two plates, initially we are saying that there is no net charge on those two plates there. But once the switch is closed, those two plates are getting some charge here. So that charge, how those two plates are getting the charge means, the only possibility is it can flow through the switch only, right? That is the only possibility here. That means actually that you can say that minus 54 is flowing from bottom to top, or you can say that plus 54 is flowing in this downward direction here. That means just if they are asking charge flowing through the switch, we need to write the magnitude only. If suppose by giving the arrow upwards or downwards, if you are asking that charge, then you need to write the both the sign also we need to write there, sign of the charge also we need to write. So here is it clear? The charge flowing through the switch, that means the charge on these two plates, net charge on these two plates is nothing but must flow through the switch only. That is only the possibility here. And so that now I can write this as therefore charge flowing through switch. So charge flowing through the switch we can write it as delta Q is equal to mod of Q final, sorry this is Q final minus Q initial, we can write the difference we are writing here, and modulus we are taking, just we are writing the magnitude. And therefore this is delta Q is equal to, what we can write here is Q final is, this is minus 54 minus 0, and so therefore you can write this as charge flowing through the switch as 54 microcoulombs. So this is the charge flowing through that switch here. About how much charge is flowing in downward direction through the switch, how much charge is flowing in upward direction through the switch, then definitely you need to write the sign. So here you can identify that these two plates are getting the negative charge, and so then that means minus 54 coulombs is flowing in upward direction, or you can say that plus 54 coulombs is microcoulombs is flowing in downward direction, you can answer here, right? So that is a way of answering such a switch type of questions here. Just the initial charge we need to find and a final charge we need to find here. So then the difference between initial charge and final charge on the capacitors will automatically give the charge flowing through that switch. Let us take one more example based on that, you will get more clarity about this. So I am taking this another problem like here the circuit is given like this. So that means now here these two capacitors are connected like this. That means totally in each row. And so total 4 capacitors are involved in this. So here this is the position of the switch here. Initially kept to open. Now this point is grounded here. This is grounded, and this point, potential of this point is given as 200 volts. So it is the potential of that point, right? And so now I am giving this capacitance of this capacitor is, let us take 12 microfarad, and this is 4 microfarad, right? And then similarly these two are say like 4, this is 4 microfarad and this is 12 microfarad. So these are the capacitors now. So write that question. In the circuit shown in figure, the switch is initially kept to open. Find the charge flowing through it once it is closed. Find the charge flowing through it once the switch is closed, right? And so now the similar calculation here, initial charge calculation and final charge calculations you need to do here. So the initial charge calculation means now when the switch is open, now again you can observe that these two capacitors will be in series, and similarly these two capacitors are also in series. And so now the potential difference across that each combination will be equal to 200 volts you will get here. The potential difference is nothing but here this point is grounded, means it is 0. So the total potential difference across this combination will be equal to 200 volts. So across each combination you can take that potential as 200 volts here, right? And so now once these two are in series, you can write this effective capacitance as 12 into 4 by 12 plus 4, that is 16. So then these two will be cancelled, then it is like 4, and finally you will get 3 microfarad here. That means for each row, the resultant of these two. So here 3 microfarad will be there and here 3 microfarad will be there. From that how much charge is flowing along this you can calculate here. So that charge we can write this as the 3 into 200. So that means 600 microcoulombs charge will be there here. So that means this side a total 600, on each capacitor 600 microcoulombs will be there, and this side also that 600 microcoulombs will be there. So let us write those charges here. So then this charge is initially like 600 plus 600. So this plate is plus 600 and this is minus 600, and this side is, this is plus 600 and this is minus 600. And now similarly this side also, this is plus 600 microcoulombs and this is minus 600 microcoulombs, and this is plus 600 microcoulombs and this is minus 600 microcoulombs, right? That is the charge distribution on this each capacitor. And again let us take two isolated plates here. Either you can consider these two plates or these two plates you can consider, that is again our choice. Here also we need to write the magnitude of the charge only. Suppose again I am taking these two plates here. So that means now I am taking these two plates here. These two isolated plates I am taking here. So these are the two isolated plates what we are considering here. Is it clear? Now the initial charge on those two isolated plates will be, this is minus 600 microcoulombs and this is plus 600 microcoulombs. So the initial charge on that is 0. So in general in such a cases you will get that 0 charge only initially. So once the switch is closed, so that means now I can write that when switch is closed. So when switch is closed, sorry. So when switch is closed, so then the circuit, the resulting circuit we can draw it as, let us see this resulting circuit here. So then those two capacitors, that 12 and 4 combination will become parallel. So that means now the plates we can represent like this, and here this another capacitor is there like this. So this is one capacitor, this is another capacitor, and this is one capacitor, and this is another capacitors are there like this. Now this is the switch closed here. And so now its capacitance is 12. This is 12 microfarad and this is 4 microfarad. And so now this is 4 microfarad capacitor and this is 12 microfarad here. and again same, this is grounded and this point is 200 volts. The voltage of this point is 200 volts. That is a given combination here. That means that is a change taking place once we are closing the switch here. And so now again you can identify that easily. Once this switch is closed, these two capacitors are becoming parallel and these two capacitors are becoming parallel. That combination will be in series. And so now I can write this, once these two are in parallel, the effective capacitance is 16 you will get, right? And here also for this combination also we are getting like 16. That means for this combination also the capacitance is 16. So both 16 and 16 means the total potential difference will divide equally. That means across this combination you will get 100 volts and across this combination also you will get 100 volts potential difference there. Therefore I can write this potential difference as, so for this combination this potential difference is 100 volts and for this combination also the potential difference is 100 volts, because that we can write that because the effective capacitance is same, that means 16 and 16 we are getting here. And now you can write the charge on that each capacitor you can write here. So charge on that each capacitor you can write it as simply CV formula we can write, and so this is 1200, so it is plus 1200 minus 1200 and this is plus 400 and this is minus 400 and next this is plus 400 minus 400 and next this is plus 1200 and this is minus 1200, right? And so now you may write again, you may consider those two isolated plates here. Suppose again I am taking these two isolated plates which we considered initially. So initially we considered these two plates here. So now again let us take those two plates here. So now again let us write the initial charge and final charge. So as I said, either you may consider these two plates you may consider or these two plates also you may consider. You will get the same answer because we need just a magnitude of the charge flowing to the switch here. So that means initially whatever the plates you are taking, the finally also we need to take the same plates here. So then this is the case here. So now let us write the charge flowing through the switch. So that means initial charge flowing, initial charge on those two isolated plates. So initial charge on two isolated plates. On two isolated plates we can write that as initial charge on those two isolated plates. So that means now as I discussed it there, then it will be 0 plus 600 and minus 600. So this is minus 600 plus 600. So initial charge on that will be 0. And so now this final charge we can write this as, final charge on that capacitors we can write this as Q final is equal to, you can write this as this is plus 1200 and this is minus 400, right? And so then this value is 800 microcoulombs we are getting here, right? And so now this is nothing but again charge flowing through the switch, we can write this as charge flowing through the switch. So charge flowing through the switch is equal to delta Q is equal to, as I said previously, this Q final minus Q initial difference we need to write here. The modulus of the difference we need to write. And yes, just we need this magnitude. So this value will be equal to 800 microcoulombs because that Q initial is 0. So this is the amount of charge that is flowing through the switch here. So then automatically you can observe that when you are taking that other side plates, then automatically you will get that minus 800 you will get here. And again you can, if you are taking these two plates together, the charge is isolated, this total 4 plates together are isolated, so net charge on them will be 0 only always. So our switch is connected here. So from this side 800 coulombs is flowing from this side to this side. So that here this side plus 800 is getting, and here you will get that minus 800 coulombs there, right? So that is the way of solving this type of questions here. So I will give a simple question based on that. So just initial and final charges you need to calculate for all these switch type problems. So I am taking an example like two isolated capacitors or two identical capacitors are connected to a cell. So that means this is one capacitor, let us consider, and this is another capacitor, let us consider. These two are connected to a cell like this, and now it is connected through this switch here. So this is the switch and this is the EMF E, and these two are identical capacitors are connected here. And so now we need to find that again write that question. In the circuit shown in figure, initially the switch is opened. Find charge flowing through the switch when it is closed. Find charge flowing through the switch when it is closed. And also find heat produced in the circuit when switch is closed. Right? So that means in this problem I am giving the heat calculation also. Heat calculations we did already in the previous class, and now in the switch problems we can calculate that charge flowing, and heat calculations also we can do here. And so it's a simple question only. Now let us write the initial charge on those two capacitors and final charge on those two capacitors here. So initial charge I can write there itself. I can write this initial charge as simply you can say that both the capacitors are in series, so that C effective into E we can write here, and now this is nothing but C by 2 into E, because both are identical capacitors are in series. And so now this is the positive plate here, so then this side plus CE by 2 and this is minus CE by 2, right? So this is CE by 2, minus CE by 2, and this is minus CE by 2. Is it clear? Both are same charges, and so that capacitors are in series, so same charge must exist on them. And so again let us consider the isolated plates here. That means again I am taking these two plates here. And so now those two plates let us consider here. The initial charge on those two plates will be again 0. This is minus CE by 2 and this is plus CE by 2 you will get here, right? And so now let us draw the circuit once the switch is closed here. So once the switch is closed, we can write this circuit like this. So I can write this circuit as when the switch is closed. So when switch is closed, that circuit we can draw it as this is the one capacitor and this is another capacitor here, and this is cell, and now this is the switch here, the position of that switch. So this is our switch position here, and so now this is the cell of EMF E, and these are the capacitors C and C. And now can you say what is the charge, what is the effective capacitance in that circuit here? Can you say what is the effective capacitance in this circuit? So effective capacitance in that circuit is nothing but once the switch is closed, the effective capacitance is only C, right? Because this capacitor is short circuited. For example, here I am taking this the potential of this point as 0, let us consider here. Then its potential will be E, right? And so then here the potential is E. Then here the potential is E. Then here also potential is E because it is a conducting wire. Now we can observe that potential difference across this capacitor is 0. This side E is there and this side also E is there. But this side you will get E. The potential difference is this side E will be there and this side 0 will be there. And so only charge will be stored on this capacitor here. And so no charge will be there on this capacitor here. And so that I can write this as, now let us write this final charges. And so that now the effective capacitance is only C. And so I am writing this capacitor is short circuited. So this capacitor is short circuited, right? And so only this capacitor is there. So this side you will get plus CE by CE and this side minus CE you will get, right? So that is the charges on that capacitor here. And so then this side 0 charge will be there on this capacitor here. No charge is present on that capacitor. And now let us identify the charge flowing through the switch here. So now again I am taking these isolated plates. So now let us take these two isolated plates here, and now let us write how much charge is flowing through those plates here. So right, and so now the charge flowing through that plates we can write that as So the initial charge and final charge we need to write here. So the initial charge on isolated plates. So the initial charge on isolated plates will be equal to 0, right? You can observe this, plus CE by 2 minus CE by 2, so that will be 0. And the final charge we need to write here, the final charge on those two isolated plates. And so therefore this final charge is equal to, so Q final is equal to CE, because this value is 0, only charge is there on this plate here. So then now we can answer that how much charge is flowing through that switch here, right? And so the charge flowing through that switch is nothing but, so therefore charge flowing through the switch. So therefore this charge flowing through the switch, you can write this as delta Q is equal to mod of this Q final minus Q initial, you can write. So you can write this as CE. So this delta is equal to CE, we can write. So right, so that is the charge flowing through that switch there. CE is the amount of charge flowing through that switch. And now in this they are asking like amount of heat produced once that switch is closed here. So that also we need to write now. And so for that, you know, our required calculations or initial energy and final energy you need to write. And then work done by the battery we need to write once that switch is closed here, right? So let us know that, let us do that calculations now. So to find heat produced, so now to find heat produced in the circuit, so now we need to do the following calculations here. So that following calculations are nothing but initial energy in that system. U initial, I am writing like U initial, that means initial energy stored in the system. So you can write either half CV square you can write, or half C effective into E square you can write here. That use the total energy directly. So this is nothing but CE square by 2 you will get, sorry 4 you will get. Or individually also you may calculate here, half C into E by 2 whole square plus half C into E by 2 whole square. So that means E square by CE square by 8 into 2 you will get, so which is nothing but CE square by 4. And now let us write the final energy stored in that system. So final energy is half CE square plus 0, because now in the second case this capacitor doesn't store any energy here, so only half CE square is the energy stored, final energy stored there, right? And now work done by the battery. So this potential difference into delta Q. It means find how much charge is flowing through the cell. Can you say how much charge is flowing through the cell here? The charge flowing through the cell. So initially the charge flowing is CE by 2. Now finally the charge flowing is CE. And so the additional charge supplied by this battery is nothing but, you can observe this, the charge flowing to this switch is nothing but the charge flowing to the cell you can write here. So I can write this value as E into this value is nothing but CE by 2 we can write. Is it clear why CE by 2? Initially it is transferring a charge of CE by 2, and finally, that means finally charge on this capacitor is CE. So the additional charge only CE by 2 is transferred by this cell here. So that is the additional charge transferred by this cell here. So right, and so now I can write this as therefore our calculation is nothing but heat produced is equal to U initial plus W minus U final. Now we can substitute those values here, we will get that heat produced in that circuit there. So therefore this H is equal to U initial is CE square by 4 plus work done is CE square by 2, this is work done, and final energy is CE square by 2 or half CE square, this is the final energy. And therefore this heat produced in that circuit we can write as CE square by 4. So that is the amount of heat produced in the circuit. So that heat generated calculations are same as that of what we discussed previously in the last class. So that means these values we need to calculate here to find that heat produced in that circuit, right? And so next year these are some simple problems based on this charge flowing through the switches. And sometimes they will give some particular directions and they will ask how much amount of charge is flowing in that particular direction there. So now let us see some examples based on that. So that means once the switch is closed, they will give a particular direction and they will ask how much charge is flowing in that particular direction. So up to now what we calculated is only for this particular switch here, total switch we have calculated here. Now I am going to discuss about the direction, the charge flowing to the particular direction. And so for this let us take an example here. So next write this problem here. In the circuit shown in figure, the switch is initially kept to open. The switch is initially kept to open. Find charge flowing along the directions, charge flowing along the paths 1 and 2, charge flowing along the paths 1 and 2 as shown in the circuit, once the switch is closed. So that is a given question here. That means this is a switch here, it is kept to open. Now these two capacitors C1 and C2 are connected to the cell here. So once that is closed, then how much charge is flowing in this direction and how much charge is flowing in this direction. So as I said previously, whenever they are giving the direction and when they are asking how much charge is flowing in that particular direction, definitely you need to answer along with the sign. That means you need to write magnitude of this charge and as well as you need to write the how much amount of charge is flowing through in that direction. That means magnitude and sign also you need to write there. So remember this point. Just if they are asking how much charge is flowing through the switch, it is sufficient to write the magnitude. But if they are asking particularly by giving some arrow, if they are asking, that indicates how much charge is flowing in that direction. So that means we need to answer with the proper sign also. So now let us consider the initially. So initially the switch is open here, that means C1 and C2 will be in series with this cell. And so I am taking that initial charge as some Q0 here. So that Q0 you can write as C effective into E we can write, right? And so therefore that is nothing but Q0 into C1 C2 by C1 plus C2 into E. Now the charge on these different plates we can represent it like this. This is say Q0 plus Q0 minus Q0 plus Q0 and minus Q0, right? So it is the charges on those capacitors there. Now let us consider the situation once that circuit is closed. So once the circuit is closed, we can draw the circuit like this. Once that switch is closed. So now let us see here one capacitor is there and this is another cell. So now this is the circuit here. So this is cell of EMF V and this is E and this is our S. And this is say C1 capacitance and this is C2. And these are the directions 1 and 2, right? So that is our circuit once it is closed. So now we need to write how much charge is present on those capacitors there, right? And so now I am taking this some charge say Q1 and Q2 I am taking here. Suppose say the charge on this capacitor is I am taking it as Q1 and the charge on this capacitor I am taking it as Q2, right? Because the charges may differ. And so now let us find the Q1 and Q2 here. So that means to find the Q1 and Q2, let us apply the Kirchhoff law in this loop here. So for example, I am writing this Kirchhoff law in this left loop. So then I can write this as by KVL in the left loop. I am not giving the names, just I am naming it as left loop. That means this side. So that means we can write this as starting from here. I am assuming this as positive and this as negative here. So that is minus Q2 by C2 plus E, right? When you are traveling along this direction, only one capacitor in that cell is there. And therefore I can write this as equal to 0. and from this we can write this Q2 value as C2 into E. So that is the charge present on that capacitor now, C2 Q2 value. So charge on that C2 we can express like this. And we need to write this same charge on this first capacitor now. So for that what we can write is, let us apply this Kirchhoff law in this loop here. For example, in this loop I am applying along this direction here. You can apply either clockwise or anti-clockwise, that is your choice. You may apply this in clockwise direction also, just I am taking an anti-clockwise direction there. And for these polarities I am assuming this is positive and this is negative I am taking here. So now again I am writing it as by KVL in the right loop. So if you apply that KVL in the right loop, so starting from the capacitor I am writing here. So it is minus Q1 by C1, and here it is plus, sorry, there also it is minus only, right? Here also you can observe that we are traveling from positive plate to negative plate. So minus Q2 by C2 plus E is equal to 0 when you are traveling along this direction here. So that is our second law, Kirchhoff law for the second loop. Now you can observe these equations here. So this is say equation 1 if you are taking either this value or this value if you are taking. So let us take this as equation 2 and this is equation 3. So then what we can conclude from equation 2 and equation 3. So what is our conclusion? So that means minus Q2 by C2 plus E. Minus Q2 by C2 plus E is equal to 0. So here we are nothing but the term only, or Q2 value you can substitute here. C2 by, that means C2 into E you will get, C2 will be cancelled, minus E and plus E you will get. So I can write this as from 1 and 2 I can conclude that Q1 is equal to 0, right? That means no charge is present on that first capacitor here. Once the switch is closed, no charge is present on this first capacitor, right? And so now let us see. Now we need to write that. With that conclusions, we need to answer how much amount of charge is flowing in this direction and how much amount of charge is flowing in this direction once the switch is closed. Can you answer now? How much charge is flowing in first day and how much charge is flowing in that second path, second direction. So for that simply you can consider like this. Initially, suppose if I consider this junction here, that junction initially. So what is the charge on that junction? 0, right? Because this is minus Q0 and this is plus Q0. So the total charge will be 0. And now finally once the switch is closed, now again observe this, the charge is, this is 0, this Q1 value we are concluding it as 0, this is 0 and this is Q2, and so only Q2 charge is there. So initially charge on this junction is 0, or charge at that point isolated junction is 0, but finally once the switch is closed we are getting some charge Q2, and so definitely what we can say is that charge Q2 must flow along this direction only, right? That charge Q2 must flow through the switch only, and so when the charge is flowing through that switch, that means, or I can say that this Q2 charge is, that means plus Q2 charge is coming out of this positive terminal, right? Then our conclusion is, by conservation of charge, the same amount of charge should enter into the negative terminal. So that means this Q2 amount of charge should flow like this, and here also this Q2 charge should enter into this terminal here. And so that is the now charge flowing through the path 1, along the path 1. Is it clear? The charge flowing along the path 1 is nothing but Q2. So that is the charge flowing along the path 1. Charge flowing along 1 is equal to Q2, which is C2 into E, right? That is the charge flowing along this path 1, C2 into E. Is it clear? So just to consider that junction, initial charge on this junction is 0, sum of these two charges. But final charge on that junction is Q2 we are getting, but there is no chance of getting the charge for these two plates from this side. Only that charge should come from this side only. So that indicates that this positive terminal is supplying a charge of Q2, and now the same charge should enter into the negative terminal. That is our charge conservation there. So the same Q2 will enter into the negative terminal there. So that is the charge flowing along the path 1. And now about path 2 we need to discuss here. Charge flowing along the path 2. So can you say how much charge is flowing to the path 2? Observe this. Initially the charges on this capacitor is plus Q naught and the minus Q naught. Now the charge on this capacitor is, so after conclusion we are getting the charge on that capacitor as 0. This means this Q1 value is 0. So I am writing that value as 0. So that means this charge is 0. No charge is there here, right? And so that means if you are considering again similar to that of our this discussion, path 1 discussion, let us come in a similar way for the path 2 discussion also. So now for this plate, the initially this Q naught charge is there, right? Now it is becoming 0. Now the charge is becoming 0 means I can say that this positive terminal should supply a charge of minus Q naught, right? And so this already plus Q naught is there initially. Now this positive terminal is supplying minus Q naught charge, and so the charge on this plate is 0. And so once the positive terminal of the battery is supplying a charge of minus Q naught, the same amount of charge should enter into the negative terminal. That is nothing but the concept what we are writing for this first path here, right? And so in a similar way you can conclude that the charge flowing along this direction will be minus Q naught. Is it clear? So now that is nothing but our answer now. The charge flowing along that path will be minus Q naught. That Q naught is nothing but this given by this expression here. So observe this, initial charge is Q naught. Finally it is 0. How it will become 0 means this minus Q naught should come from the battery. Then only charge on this plate will become 0, right? And so that means this positive terminal of the battery is coming supplying a charge of minus Q naught means the same amount of charge should enter into this negative terminal there. And so that means I can write this as, so the charge flowing along the path 2. So path 2 I can write this as minus Q naught. Therefore it is nothing but minus C1 C2 by C1 plus C2 into E. So that is the charge flowing along that path 2. So that is a way of answering that questions when the paths are given. So in this, if they are asking charge flowing to that switch, that charge flowing to the switch is nothing but Q2 here, which we discussed already. Charge flowing to the switch is nothing but Q2 we need to write there, right? So it is a charge flowing along these different directions here. Now I will give one more numerical example based on this. You can solve that problem like by giving the directions. So here I am taking this as some 2 cells over there here. And 2 capacitors are connected like this. So then here this switch is there here. So these two are, let us say, identical cells, and these cells are that means capacitors are C1 and C2 I am taking. Now these are the directions here. This is say 1 and this is say 2 and this is the 3, direction 3, and this is switch S. Now I am giving the data also. Let us take that numericals as let us say terminals, the potential of that each cell is say 60 volts and C1 is 2 microfarad and C2 is 3 microfarad. Let us take that. So that means the given data is E is equal to 60 volts and C2 is 3 microfarad. So that is the given data. Now you need to find the charges on that each path. So write that question in the circuit shown in figure. In the circuit shown in figure, find charge flowing along the directions 1, 2, 3. Charge flowing along the directions 1, 2, 3. once the switch is closed. Once the switch is closed. So again a similar calculation like initial and final you need to write here. So let us write this initial and final. I think you can try this question here. So I will explain another problem. So just try, as the numericals are there, then you can answer this question easily. How much charge should flow in that particular directions there, right? So then try that question. I will explain another question, a similar calculation by giving that directions. A numerical example I will explain here. So now let us write that problem. So two capacitors are in parallel and one capacitor is in series here. And so now here a cell is connected like this. And so now here a switch is connected across this capacitor like this. This is our switch position now. And so now let us take this C values or capacitance values as, let us take this as 6 microfarad and this is 2 microfarad, and let us take this as some 4 microfarad, right? And so now let us take this value as 8 or let us say 6 volts. And so now here I am giving some path here. Let us say this is AB. So now write that question. In the circuit shown in figure, so all this question as the numericals are given, calculate initial and final charges. From that you can easily say how much charge is flowing along the path 1 and path 2 and path 3. That once numericals are there, then problem will be easy for us. So then write this. So in the circuit shown in figure, find charge flowing from A to B and a charge flowing through the switch once the switch is closed. And so now again our calculation is same, and also you may mention that find heat produced in the circuit also calculate heat produced in the circuit. And so then you can calculate like initial and final charges, same calculations here. So then these two are in say parallel, so 8 you will get, and here 4, that will be in series. So then here potential difference I am taking it as, for example, V1, and here potential difference as V2. Then you can write that V1 and V2 potential difference as V1 by V2 is equal to, when the capacitors are in series, then their potential difference will be inverse ratio. Q by C we need to write. So it is C2 by C1 we need to write here. So C2 is nothing but 4 and this is 8. So 1 is to 2 you will get. Therefore this V1 we can write as 1 by 1 plus 2 into 6, total potential difference. So 2 volts you will get. Therefore V2 is 4 volts you will get here, right? So potential difference across this is 2 and potential difference across this is 4 volts we are getting here. So once the potential difference across this is 2, then you can write this as charge. So then this is plus 12 and this is minus 12. So similarly here it is plus 12, 2 into 2, 4, plus 4, and this is minus 4. Is it clear? Micro coulombs. And next similarly charge on this. So here it is plus 16, minus 16, right? So that is the charge distribution before closing the switch. So once the switch is closed, so when S is closed, so then the circuit you can redraw the circuit like this. I am drawing the circuit again here. So then this circuit we can write this as so these are the two capacitors here. These two are in parallel and now this is the 4 microfarad and this is our remaining circuit here, and this is the switch closed here, right? And these are the points A and B. So these are the points A and B. And so now again let us write the charges on those capacitors here like this. So now you know once the switch is closed, can you say the effective capacitance is, this is our 6 microfarad capacitor and this is our 2 microfarad capacitor, and this is the EMF of the cell is 6. So can you say what is the effective capacitance in that circuit? So once the switch is closed, so you can observe that once the switch is closed here, this 4 microfarad capacitor is short circuited. So those two positive and negative plates of those two capacitors are connected by a conducting wire. When positive and negative plates of a capacitor are connected by a conducting wire, then you will get that value as potential difference across that will be 0. So this capacitor is said to be short circuited. Then you can write this value here. Only these two capacitors are in there in parallel, and so then potential difference across that will be, you can say directly 6 volts. So 6 volts will be there here. And so now the charge I am writing directly here. So the charge on these capacitors will be 6 into 6. So plus 36 minus 36. And so then this will be plus 12 volts and minus 12 volts, minus 12 microcoulombs. And so now we need to answer about charge flowing from A to B and a charge flowing to the switch. So again think it carefully. Just observe the circuit before closing and observe the circuit after closing. So once if you observe the circuit, once the switch is, when the switch is open, the charge flowing from this battery will be only 16 microcoulombs here, which is nothing but 12 plus 6, or you can say this here, the total charge. So that means 16 coulombs of the charge is there. Now once the switch is closed, now the charge you can observe that here it is 36 and plus 12, right? So the total 48 coulombs, microcoulombs is storing on these capacitors here. So that means that indicates that definitely some additional amount of charge is flowing from the cell here. So that additional amount of charge is nothing but this final charge minus initial charge we can write here. Is it clear? The initial charge is only 16, initial charge coming from this battery. The final charge coming from the battery is nothing but 48. The difference is nothing but the charge flowing from A to B. So I can write this as charge flowing from A to B. So this value we can consider it as QAB. So this is nothing but Q final minus Q initial we are writing here. And that means Q final and Q initial means I am taking charge taken from the battery or flowing through the battery. And so Q final is nothing but 36 plus 12 and minus this is 12 plus 4. So it is 48 minus 16. So which is nothing but 32, right? So that is our QAB, 32 microcoulombs. So that means from A to B, 32 microcoulombs of charge is flowing here. 32 microcoulombs of charges, positive charges flowing from A to B. And now our another question is how much charge is flowing to the switch? Is the same amount of charges flowing to the switch? And this question you should answer carefully. Is the same amount of charges flowing to the switch? So that means here from the battery additional 32 coulombs is coming from the battery. Can you say the same amount of charges flowing from this switch also? 32? That is wrong, because through the switch additionally 16 coulombs of charge should flow there. How that additional 16 coulombs of charge is flowing here? So in this path from A to B 32 coulombs and here also 32 coulombs only, but through the switch additional 16 coulombs of charge should flow, because now observe the 4 microfarad initially and finally. The final charge on this 4 microfarad will be 0, right? But initially it is having this 30, that means 16 microcoulombs here. so that the neutralization of that charge should take place. The neutralization of that charge should take place, and so that this charge, that means this charge should flow from this positive plate to negative plate here. This positive 16 coulomb should flow in this direction here, so that the charge on these plates will become 0. That means this 32 coulombs is flowing along this direction here. 32 microcoulombs is flowing from A to B. So here also this 32 will be there, and here also this 32, that means this 32 microcoulombs, and from this side here 16 microcoulombs will come from this side here. So that charge will flow through the switch, and so the total charge on this will be 16 plus 32 means again it is 48 microcoulombs here. 48 microcoulombs will flow through this, and here again it is 32 only. So that charge out of this charge, again plus 16 will flow like this in this direction, and so here minus 16 and plus 16 will neutralize on the negative plate here. So again the remaining charge 32 coulombs will flow here. Now our question is charge flowing to the switch. So the charge flowing to the switch is plus 48 coulombs is flowing here. So therefore charge flowing through the switch So charge flowing through the switch, you can write it as charge flowing through the switch 32 plus 16, so which is 48 microcoulombs. So charge flowing through the switch is 48 microcoulombs. So that is the charge flowing through the switch here. So that means then you can observe that in this problem charge flowing through the cell is different and charge flowing through the switch is different here. And so in this also sometimes they may ask heat produced. So heat produced means again write the initial and final charge energies. Initial energy you can calculate in the each capacitor, and final energy also you can calculate in the each capacitor, because we calculated charges or potential differences. And we know already additional charge flowing from this battery. The additional charge flowing from the battery is nothing but 32. So then 16 to 32 is the work done by the battery. Positive charge is coming out here. So work done by the battery is positive only. So you can calculate by calculating initial energy, final energy, and work done by the battery. You can calculate that heat produced in the circuit also. So do that calculation, heat produced in that circuit, right? So next series question here. Now two batteries are there and two capacitors are there here. So now these two batteries and two capacitors are connected like this. And now here the switch is here. Now they are asking like the charge flowing to the switch once the switch is closed, and then amount of heat produced in that circuit. So let us see here. Initial I am calculating this. So note down that question there. The circuit shown in figure, find charge flowing through the switch and heat produced in the circuit when the switch is closed. So now let us see the solution for this. Now the initial I am taking like when the switch is before the switch is closed. That means initially we are taking that when the switch is open. Total charge I am calculating here, the charge on this each capacitor. Now we can observe that this arrangement is a series. These two capacitors are in series, and we can observe that these two cells are also in series. The negative of this one is connected to this, positive of one is connected to the negative of other. So that means you may apply the Kirchhoff law if you are getting any doubt in that. So then you can take this total EMF as 5 plus 6, you can consider 12 volts. So then C effective by C effective into E effective I am writing here, so that you will get this charge as 66 by 5 microcoulombs. So charge on this capacitor is 66 by 5, and charge on this capacitor is also that means this capacitor is also 66 by 5. So charge on the each plate is shown here. So charge on that each plate. And now let us consider once the switch is closed. So when the switch is closed here, you can observe that directly this capacitor is in parallel with this 5 volts and this capacitor is in parallel with the 6 volts. Or if you are getting confusion, you may take suppose this junction is any junction, you may consider suppose 0, then here it also 0, then here it is 0 means then here you will get 5. So here it is 5. So here it is 0 and 5. That is nothing but what I am saying. Potential difference across this will be equal to 5. And similarly potential difference across this will be equal to 6. This will be 0 and then this will be 6 you will get here. So then charges you can write directly there. So then CV formula, so 5 into 2 10 plus 10, and this is similarly 6 into 3 18 microcoulombs you will get. All those are microcoulombs only, charges what I am representing there. And so now here we need to write how much charge is flowing through the switch. So that is our calculation here. So for that again let us analyze the circuit carefully here, initially and finally. So now I am representing, suppose on the each capacitor I am representing like this. The initial charge on this capacitor is 66 by 5. Final charge on this capacitor is 10 microcoulombs here. So that means now the charge on this capacitor is decreasing. So charge on this capacitor is decreasing means some amount of charge should flow back into the cell, right? So the initial charge is more than the final charge before closing the switch, and so that some charge is flowing back into the cell here. So how much charge is flowing means then that is nothing but you need to find the difference between these two here. If you find the difference between these two, then it is 66 by 5 minus 10. So that is nothing but this value here. So the how much charge is flowing is 66 by 5 minus 10. So this is nothing but 16 by 5 microcoulombs you will get here. So this amount of charge will flow back into this cell here, flow back into the positive terminal. Now similarly for the second capacitor, let us identify here. For the second capacitor, initial charge is 66 by 5 and the final charge is 18. Now the charge on that capacitor is increasing, right? Because this 18 is more than that of 66 by 5. And so charge on this capacitor is increasing means some additional charge should come from the battery. So the additional, how much amount of additional charge is coming from the battery means again the difference between these two. That is 18 minus, so 18 minus 66 by 5. So which is 24 by 5 microcoulombs you will get here, right? So that is charge flowing to this. This is nothing but the charge here. So this additional amount of charge should flow from battery to this capacitor here, right? And so now the same charge should come back into the negative terminal, and here also the same, here this 16 by 5 microcoulombs is entering the positive terminal, so same amount of charge should come out of this negative terminal here. So the directions are clear. So now just if you apply the junction rule at this point here, you will get this charge here. So these two charges at this junction, for example, if I write, these two charges are entering that junction. So charge entering the junction is equal to charge leaving the junction. So that means just we need to add these two values here. That means 16 plus 24 by 5, so which is nothing but you can say 40 by 5, so which is 8 microcoulombs. That is the charge flowing through the switch here. Is it clear? So it is a charge flowing through the switch. So charge flowing through the switch is 18 microcoulombs. Sorry, 8 microcoulombs. So it is a charge flowing through the switch. So charge flowing through switch is equal to, so I am taking it as some QS, so which is equal to 24 by 5 plus, you can write it as 16 by 5, so which is 8 microcoulombs. So it is a charge flowing through the switch. And the next here we need to calculate heat generated in the circuit. So our heat generated in the circuit calculations are same. So we need to calculate initial energy, and then we need to calculate this final energy stored in the system. When two capacitors are there in the system, we need to calculate. And here interestingly two cells are there here. In all our previous calculations, heat generated calculations, generally one cell is there here. Here now two cells are there here. So you should observe this calculation carefully. And then work done by both the cells. When two cells are there, work done by both the cells we need to calculate here just. And so then we need to use our same formula, heat energy formula. Then by using that conservation of energy equation, we can calculate that. So now let us see that calculation here. So initial energy stored in that system is half C effective into E square we can write. Or as we know the Q value, Q square by 2C, that where C is C effective we can write. Or individually also you can calculate Q square by 2C for this, Q square by 2C for this, and then you can add those two values. So directly you can calculate like this, C effective into E effective. What I am saying, you may calculate individually, energy stored in 2 microfarad plus energy stored in 3 microfarad, you can calculate, you will get the same answer, right? And then next final. Now the finally here we can write the potential difference across this is 5 and across this is 6. So directly half CV square formula I am writing here. So half into C is 2 and V square 5 volts, and for this half into 3 into 6 square. So then that gives us 79 microjoules here. Next here important thing is about work done by the batteries. And so now you can observe this, here the charge is entering into the 5 volt cell here. And so now work is done on the cell. So work done, or we can say that work done by the cell is negative because the charge is entering into this cell here. And how much charge is flowing into the cell after closing the switch, we already calculated these values. This is delta Q value. And similarly for this cell, the charge is flowing out of this positive terminal here, and so this means charge work done by this cell is positive. So that is nothing but what we need to write here. So work done by the battery means work done by the 5 volt cell plus work done by the 6 volt cell we need to write. So work done by the 5 volt cell is voltage that 5 into delta Q value, and this delta Q is entering the negative terminal, so we need to take it as, so entering the positive terminal, so we need to take it as minus 16 by 5. And plus this is this charge is flowing out of the positive terminal only, so plus 24 by 5. On simplifying this, we are getting this as 12.8 microjoules. Now just let us substitute those values, 72.6 plus 12.8 and minus 79, so that you will get this value as 6.4 microjoules. So that is the amount of heat produced in this circuit here. So that is a way of calculating these problems here, the heat generated problems or switch problems. We discussed all the important models here. So I think you got the clarity regarding this heat generated calculations and switch problems, and those problems are important. And so then that is about this heat generated and switch calculations there, right? So then practice the problems based on this. So then you will get more clarity on the switch and heat generated calculations, right? Thank you.